Hey, all you cool cats from Zounds Online Productions. We are back. It's been a little while. We decided to take a couple weeks off for sanity purposes, as I'm sure y'all can relate to, seeing as it is 2020. And every day brings something fresh to deal with on the mental level. So we're back and we're ready. We're going to have a blast reading this one because this is something we talked about for a little while. I mean, we did the Mean Girls reading during the summer, and now we're diving into a different pop Shakespeare play that Ian Doescher has written called Get Thee Back to the Future. So the rules for tonight are anytime that Marty has an uncomfortably intimate scene with his teenage mother, you must drink. Anytime that Einstein, the dog, speaks, which you'll find out what that means, you must drink. Anytime that Doc says, "Great Scott," you must drink. And then because we're back to Shakespeare, this is back to our past / now the future, we're back to Shakespeare. Anytime an overt Shakespeare reference is made, you have to drink, just like all the other Shakespeare readings. So we are pleased to present this for you. And in order to get myself into character, I need to switch myself over. Perfect. There we go. Don't mind me. Don't mind the man behind the curtain reading these stage directions. But for now, we begin in the prologue of Hill Valley, California, in the New World. Now, gentles, pray your patience for this play. In heart and mind, let fancy hold its sway. Ne'er has there been such whimsy on the stage, e'en when Andronicus was all the rage. To wit, we shall transport ye these 2 hours, enabled by our keen dramatic powers. Ere ye depart, will prefer such surprise. Not one of ye, my friends, shall trust your eyes. Eyes, yea, and ears, attend unto our tale, in which we'll carry ye beyond the pale. Go with us, prithee, past your common sense. Herein we'll voyage years 400 hence. Time travel, such is our agenda bold. Yea, from our author's mind shall this unfold. For this endeavor, England we must leave. In far America, our tale we weave. View wonders, on our stage do we arrive in late October 1985. Act 1, Scene 1, the year 1985 at Doc Brown's house. Enter Marty McFly.
Let fame that all hunt in their lives live registered upon my brazen tome. There grace me with the disgrace of death, when, in spite of cormorant devouring time, the endeavor of this present breath may buy that honor which shall bait its scythe's keen edge, and make me heir of all eternity. Yet, I though speak of death-defeating fame, a simpler fate befits my humble state, a lad of 17. My fondest hopes soar far beyond the customs of my years, which still do fall 3 fewer than a score. Whilst all my friends waste time in vain pursuits, I long for something higher than the rest. Perhaps this longing, though, is but a symbol of my poor life that I do daily lead. My parents poor, my siblings' prospects weak, our days in the estate of lion, just a hollow tapestry of human life. Beneath this melancholy promise, though, I see a vision of better days, the sight of which doth flow from double source. First, mine own paramour, my Jennifer, the ever favorite object of my heart. And second, my dear friend in awe and wonder, e'en Dr. Emmett Brown, whom I call Doc. His house is like another home to me, with less strife and quarrels at my own. A place of mental curiosity, where experiment is all the aim. Doc is a scientist of brilliant mind, inventor, new contraptions every day. Although the man doth have a genius brain, his eccentricities have kept him from the public recognition he deserveth. As I make my entrance into Doc's busy home, I find there is neither man nor beast herein. Doc's many gadgets and creations, though, surround me as though I were lost at sea, and every apparatus were the water. Behold these clocks which run in perfect time, 100 such devices, yea, or more, of various styles and movement, gear and spring, each tick the perfect echo of the rest, each talk and step as to a drummer's beat. A radio begins to sound and brings a stranger's voice unbidden into the room. Then doth a timer ring, and on the instant, the smell of brewing coffee strikes the air. Once programmed by the time, Doc's own hand, a television, wondrous miracle, turns on by force of an automated lever, whereon the telecaster doth announce the recent theft of some plutonium. A charcoal slab of that, which once was bread, emerges from a toaster silver box. Another gizmo starts with a buzzing sound, thus opens the food of Einstein, Doc's pet dog, whose shaggy graying hair is partnered to that which doth grow atop Doc's own pate. The bowl overflows. Hath Einstein not been here? Besides these few inventions, other bits of knick and knack are posted on the walls. A tale torn from a newspaper of old, which tells the story of the Mansion Brown, which, sometimes more than 20 years ago, did burn with the mighty fire and restlessness of flame. This tragedy I never have discussed with Doc, since he and I did friends become. The portraits, too, of various inventors adorn the walls, as if to watch Doc work and bring their inspiration to his toil. Ne'er have I seen Doc's house in such a state of disarray, and yet I do confess, these curiosities and implements form but a backdrop to my soul's desire. The reason I have hither come this morn, to play my lute upon Doc's system vast, which he hath gladly given me leave to do. I turn the dials and switch to the height, to maximum power of sound. These small controls shall amplify my lute, and 'twere 1,000 lutes did play at once. The overdrive is set to the 100th mark, and all the levels rise to the brink. My lute I do connect unto the board, prepared with single pluck of sheet gut string, here to unleash the beast of rock and roll.
Marty plays and is blown back by the sound of the speaker, which then explodes. The phone rings. Enter Dr. Emmett Brown talking on the phone and Einstein, both above on balcony.
Hail, Marty! Art thou there?
Good Doc, forsooth. Where art thou, friend? For I came to thine house expecting I should find thee at breakfast.
Ah, Dio gratias that thou art found, and also that thou art both safe and whole. Canst thou meet me tonight at Twin Pines Mall, upon the very strike of 1:15? A major breakthrough I have made, my friend, and shall thy brave assistance then require.
Thou wouldst engage me thither at the hour of 1:15, which after midnight comes, when normal folk do lie abed and sleep, we too shall be outside, adventuring?
We shall, and thou shalt ne'er forget the night.
What is the matter that doth move thee so? And say, where hast thou been the livelong week, whilst for thee I have searched with urgency?
Engaged in testing mine experiments.
Pray, of what of Einstein? Is the pup with thee?
Indeed, he sitteth at my feet even now.
Thy house, it is in shambles. Didst thou know? All thine equipment didst leave to run, some 6 or 7 days now, by my troth.
Equipment, sayest thou, the very word doth prompt remembrance of another thing. The amplifier for thy lute thou shouldst not use at present, for there is a chance, be it but slight indeed, there's still a chance the system may overload and blast the whole.
Thus I shall keep in mind. Had he but been 5 minutes sooner, this advice would help.
'Tis well, I shall then see thy face tonight. I bid thee, Marty, to forget it not. 1/4 past the stroke of 1 o'clock at Twin Pines Mall. I'll see thee soon.
Indeed.
All the clocks begin chiming.
Oh, alas, what ringing! Why hath this commenced? Discontinuations of the bells.
Peace! Count the clock.
The clock hath stricken A.
Ah, then mine experiment hath worked. They run as slowly as a tortoise gate behind my minutes counting 25.
What shocking words are these thou speakest to me? What passage of time hast delayed arrival? What prelude to future punishment? What fable of race against the clock? Is truth that what thou dost calmly say to me? What time is verily 8:25?
Precisely. Science is not lost on thee.
Oh, fie! Upon it! I must play the hare and skip most jauntily upon my path, for I am caught up late for school again!
Great Scott! Godspeed then, Marty, on thy merry way!
Exit Doc and Einstein from balcony. Marty leaves Doc's house. Enter various residents of Hill Valley upon the streets.
I leave anon, my vehicle withal a piece of wood with wheels numbering 4, on which I stand whilst pushing 1 foot. This skateboard must convey me hence a pace, that I may swiftly to the schoolhouse fly. Now I shall grasp the back end of this car, a horseless carriage fashioned out of steel and powered by the strength and fuel of flame. The ride takes me past many jovial Hill Valley residents and citizens, who wave at me, a youth of their acquaintance. The driver of the car hath noticed me, as I do use his speed to make my way. A withering and friendless gaze, a withering and friendless look he gives. Be like unhappy with his hanger on. A dumb team that can't get his lines right. The new caboose for which he did not ask. The barnacle that fastens to his rock. We pass the signs for Baron Goldie Wilson, the noble leader of his humble town. He seeks another term of office soon, beneath the banner of his motto proud. E'en honesty, decency, integrity.
Exit citizens as Marty approaches the school.
Hill Valley High School. Here I am at last, and hopefully not to be punished for my belated ingress into the school.
Enter Jennifer Parker.
My love, heart of my heart, my Jennifer!
Thou comest late again, sweet Marty, and if thou wouldst escape the ire of our headmaster, Sir Strickland, who doth fiercely search for thee, go not that way, but follow on with me. If thou art caught, thou shalt be written down as being tardy 4 times in a row. This hallway mayhap shall give passage safe.
This time 'twas not my fault, for I did fall beneath the whimsy of Doc's genius mind, which ever hath a new scheme, and which did, for trial of what theory I do not know, set every clock within his house behind.
Enter Sir Strickland.
The utterance of that name, the name of Doc, falls on mine ear, and 'twere a pestilence that shall set fire unto my brain at once. Am I to understand that thou, McFly, may still be found within the company of Dr. Emmett Brown, that hapless man? Now to your punishments, ye naughty scamps. Miss Parker, thou hast earned a tardy slip, the twin of which I give to thee, McFly, which totals 4 upon successive days. Young man, to thee I'll proffer some advice. A ducat's worth, yet nobly, freely given. The man thou callest Doc, this Dr. Brown, though doctor of what science I know not, nor whereby he hath earned the title. Nay, he is a danger to himself and thee, a senseless madman and a lunatic. If thou with him dost spend thy wasted days, it shall be only trouble that thou findest.
Forsooth, your words have quite convinced me, sir.
Thy problem is thine attitude, McFly, which goeth o'er before thee like a flag, waved high, a standard with no standards, yea, announcing unto all, here comes a slacker, a worthless imp, a lazy, wayward fool. How thou dost of thy father make me think. Who was a slacker for the record books?
These words I'll take with me, if I may go.
I could not help but notice that thy band, the merry minstrels thou dost play withal, shall make audition in the afternoon, so that you may perform at our school dance. Yet wherefore even make attempt, McFly? There is but little chance thou shalt succeed. Thine apple falls too near thy father's tree. Ne'er did a person by the name McFly amount to anything or make a mark on all our proud Hill Valley history.
Yet history shall soon change. You shall see.
Exit. Scene 2, the school auditorium. Enter several dance committee members.
In working for a living, I do strive to put my heart and soul in every task. Today, within this perfect world of ours, my task, stuck with you, friends, is no more hard than to ascend the rung of Jacob's ladder, as if our group were angels. Back in time, the youth of our age, cruising to new heights, did hear our music shape, said, "That's not me. I want a new drug for my youthful ears." They say, if this is it, we want it not. Their hearts disliked the circles of our songs. Thus, they decided 'tis hip to be square. They finally found a home in their new sound. They think it is some kind of wonderful. It hit me like a hammer when I heard it. For bad is bad when it doth strike mine ears. I know that what I like, friends, and verily 'tis not their music, nay. Yet it's all right. Don't fight it, so say I. Accept their music. Give me the keys and beats and instruments. Do you believe in love? So do our youth. And thus, the heart of rock and roll will hear this music that the power of love releaseth.
Enter Marty McFly with his band, the Pinheads. Enter Jennifer Parker aside, watching.
Our very best we play for you today, that you may deem us worthy to join in Hill Valley High's own battle of the bands. We call ourselves the Pinheads. Now, boys, play!
Ba 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 ba. Bet not thy future days upon one rolling of the dice. Yet think of lightning hitting down, it never struck it twice. If thou art wise, then hear my song and listen to my rhyme. To save the future from great wrong, oh, get thee back in time.
I prithee, cease! Cease at once! Cease! Cease at once this noisome noise. Whilst I give ye the news of our resolve, thou art too loud to earn a place this year. We'll hear the next group at another time when that our ears have made recovery.
Exit committee members and the Pinheads. Jennifer and Marty walk outside. Enter various residents of Hill Valley. A car passes by with Goldie Wilson's image upon it, and an advertisement can be heard playing on the radio.
Elect again our Baron Goldie Wilson, for truly progress is his middle name.
Too loud. These are the words with which they greet a music for a newfound age and time. I do not believe my senses. Were I not rejected to my face 2 minutes back? When shall I ever have a chance to play before an audience with will to hear?
Yet one rejection endeth not the world, nor doth it close the door on thy dreams.
Be like musician shall not be my trade, for with an audience I strike no chords.
And yet thy talent sings in every note. The record thou hast made of thy sweet songs with which thou wilt audition once again doth move me with its splendid melodies. Send it, I bid thee, to a music shop that will appreciate thine aptitude. As Doc doth often say,
Forsooth, I know, when thou dost put thy mind unto the task, thou mayest accomplish nearly anything.
Two women walk by and Marty watches them pass.
turn not thine eyes, but love the one thou art with. Doc Brown's advice is worthy of thine ear.
Think on this possibility, my joy. What if I send this record unto them, they listen to the tunes, and like them not? Do thereupon reject me and my songs, and tell me that I am simply have no gift. In doing so, they would disrupt my future. Rejection thus would be unbearable. Alas, how do I sound like my old man, my father, who doth often grumble so?
The man is not as bad as thou dost say. Remember, he shall let us have his car tomorrow, wherewith we shall flee the town, our school, our families, and everyone.
Behold, across the avenue, dost see? A truck of such great beauty, grace, and power, beckoned in shades of blackest, darkest night, a thing of splendor, hotter than the sun. Someday one such as this will be our own. Imagine though, and I ride to the lake, put bags for sleeping in the rear compartment, lie underneath the firmament, alone.
Cease, love, for to imagine brings but pain when it may never be. Pray, tell me, dost thy mother know about tomorrow night?
Nay, never, for the lady would erupt. She thinketh I am bound away with friends upon a camping venture, and no more. If she did know I planned to go with thee, her ire would rise unto the boiling point. She would give me a mountain built of words, and about her own behavior as a child, how she did never try her parents' will or play the queen within the game of hearts. Methinks she was conceived within a convent and born under a family of nuns.
She would keep thee respectable, I'll warrant.
She faileth at that task.
Yea, happily.
They begin to embrace. Enter a clock tower booster.
Pray heed! Preserve the tower of the clock. Our grand clock tower needeth your swift aid. Our noble Baron Wilson hath a plan which shall repair our weary broken clock. 'Twas 30 years ago the clock was struck by lightning from the heavenly clouds above, as if it did delight even Zeus himself to stop the clock with a bolt and markman's aim, destroying then the clock that irked him so. It hath not told time all right since then, and we, the Keen Hill Valley Preservation Society, shall keep it as 'twas destined. We swift as shadows, short as any dream, brief as the lightning in the cullied night, collect as many alms as we can give, so preserve the clock just as it is, maintain our history and heritage.
Here is a coin for all thy labors, madam. Yet also shall it get thee quickly gone, no more loving moments to interrupt.
My greatest thanks, good lad, for thy support. Take thou this pamphlet, which shall tell thee more of how thou mayst join our effort just.
Go now, I bid thee. With thee goes my hopes.
Exit booster and other residents.
Sweet, where were we before we were disturbed?
Upon the prelude to a tender kiss.
They begin to embrace. Enter Jennifer's father.
Say, Jennifer, the time hath come to go.
The time is never perfect, is it, love? My father comes and I must go with him.
Tonight, I'll call on thee.
This evening I'll be found at my grandmother's house. Her number I'll write for thee upon this pamphlet white.
This must be something more than mere desire, when but to watch her write with pen and ink doth stir my heart to gentle, loving thoughts.
For now, farewell, until another time.
He kisses him. Exit Jennifer and her father.
I read the words she penned upon the page. I love thee. She hath written, oh my sweet, such unexpected joy, such wondrous glee, inspires a sonnet formed in melody. The power of love, oh, 'tis a curious thing. It changes hawks into a gentle dove and makes a one man weep, another sing. More than a feeling, 'tis the power of love. It's tougher than diamonds, it's rich like cream. It makes a bad one good and a wrong one right. 'Tis harder than a wench's dream. The power of love shall keep thee home at night. When first thou feelest, it may make thee sad. When next thou feelest, it may make thee profound. And yet when thou learnest, thou shalt be glad. 'Tis the power that makes the world go round. 'Tis a sound sudden, sent by heaven above. And it may just save thy life. This is the power of love. I'm a teenager, a man, but band.
Scene 3 at the McFly house. Enter Biff Tannen.
1,000 sculptors, given time and now, of their aptitude and skill possessed, resounding through their fame and plaudits be, though they had perfect tools and finest stone, could never produce such a great form as mine, for I am Biff, the paragon of men, who destined was for greatness by my troth.
Enter Marty McFly and George McFly.
Alack, what horrid scene is this I find? This rubber man in my home, Our family's car outside. A heap, a wreck, delivered unto this too sudden grave. By gloomy truck that is like the reaper comes, and hither brings the shell of all my hopes. My freedom dead comes to a crashing halt.
How couldst thou lend me, who has given thee much, a car that hath a blind spot near the side?
Blank spot, such did I never witness. Biff.
Belike, I should be dead, may have been killed.
No blind spot when I go driving. Good even, son, and welcome home this evening.
Mayhap this thou, McFly, and not thy car? Which art thine one, callest thou me a knave? How canst you reconcile the wreck outside with thy denial of the car's blind spot?
Good Biff, thou art an honorable person, so are we all honorable people. May I assume that thou shalt pay the charges to the car that thou hast lately ruined? Canst thou give me assurance of the insurance?
Insurance, ha! The car is thine, McFly. Seek thou no reassurance from my lips. For no insurance, I maintain, shall ever pay for thy car, but thine insurance is thine. I prithee, mine endurance do not test, whilst we do speak of payment. What of this? My doublet is awash in a sticky beer, which I, perforce, did spill when I was struck. Who shall pay for the cleaning of my coat? Moreover, hast thou finished my report?
In truth, they are not yet complete, sir, but because they're not due until far later.
Biff grabs George and begins knocking on his head with his knuckles.
Shall I have cause to bash thee on my pate? Is any brain herein that I must knock to find out whether there is one at home? Use thou my mind and not thy voice, McFly. I must have time e'en now to write the words in mine own hand, as if the work were mine. Hast thou the consequence considered, George? Shall I submit some work first penned by thee? Writ in style and manner of thy hand, I would most instantly be told, you're fired. Words I would rather say myself than hear. Thou wouldst not want that fate for Biff, wouldst thou?
In truth, there's naught could make more elated, yet such a thought I'll keep to mine own counsel. To speak this sentiment could prove most deadly.
Wouldst thou? Speak now, I would hear thy reply.
Of course not, Biff. 'Twould be a true disaster. Tonight, I shall complete the needed statements, delivering them to thee upon the morrow. Shall this suffice?
It shall, yet not too soon. My wont 'tis to sleep late on Saturday. Behold below, McFly, thy shoes untied.
George looks, and Biff knocks him on the chin.
Thou art predictable as time itself, which ever runneth forward, never back, and counteth off the seconds of our life. Too art thou gullible by half, McFly, as one would have believed a jester's trick. Meanwhile, thy cottage doth not disappoint, except for thy most marriage of choice of ale. Hither tow thy car unto my house. Is such a cheap swill the best thou canst provide?
Look on this man, a villain in the height, and fouler than a vulture at a corpse.
Upon what lookest thou, thou arse-like pate? When thou dost see my mother, wish her well. There never was a woman who rebuffed Biff, strong Biff.
Exit Biff.
My boy, as I were a wise soothsayer, I can report thy words. Ere thou dost speak them, then thou hast truth in every letter, and for thou judgest, though I bid thee listen without reflecting, do not be rejecting. 'Tis very true. Biff is my supervisor. And while I can compose reports most ably, I am less skilled at confrontations, Marty.
The car! The car! Oh, Father, he is a knave! He'd wrecked the car, destroyed utterly! Great need I had tomorrow of that car! Didst thou have any notion how important the night would be to me? Hast an e'en a clue?
I did and do and had and have mine offspring. What may I say to thee? But I'm sorry. No other words have I to fix the matter.
Enter Lorraine, Dave, and Linda McFly. They turn on the television.
There is still more. My band shall not perform at our school dance, which daily doth approach.
Believe me when I say thou shalt be happy that thou escaped the painful aggravation, the headaches that for surety would follow the public exhibition of thy talent. It shall be a torment to your body. The dance is but a passing obligation. Thou shalt in time be happy to steer clear of. Take thou some peanut brittle, ease thy spirits.
Not I.
Our father has it right. The last thing thou dost need is aching of thy head.
Observe the television, which exhibits a situation humorous and comic.
That's good.
I chortled every time I said.
This cake I have prepared most lovingly, yet we must take it eating ourselves. 'Twas fashioned for thine Uncle Joey, who did fail again to meet parole conditions, and shall be gulled for another season. The bird, alas, shall not take flight today. 'Twould be most kind of thou wouldst write him, or call to wish him well.
He's thy brother. Would not the message better come from thee?
My brother hath it right, while thine is wrong. It is a grave embarrassment for us to have an uncle who in prison rots for all the wrongs he did perpetrate.
Nay, judge thou not unless thou perfect art. All who belong unto the human species have made mistakes and lead not blameless lives.
Oh, fie upon it, I'm late again.
Peace, David, hold thy tongue from every curse, lest it may land once more upon thy head. Before thou leavest, let me kiss thee once. I would bestow my protection on thy cheek.
Yet quickly, mother, or I might miss my bus.
Lorraine kisses Dave quickly.
Upon thy cheek lay I this zealous kiss, as seal to this example of my love.
Farewell, good father, till we meet again.
Dave kisses George on the head.
What ho, the oil of thy puttest on thy pate is past its prime and soon shall need a change.
Mine eldest hath a matchless humor.
Exit Dave.
Young brother Marty, I do not purport nor have desire to schedule all thy trysts or be accomplice to thy rendezvous, and yet by kindness of a sister's heart, I give thee this intelligence which thou wert outside pouting over our broken car. Twice wert thou called by thy Jennifer.
She is no friend of mine, nay, verily, a lass who calls a lad doth ask for trouble. Belike she would tempt angels unto sin.
Thine antiquated views, sweet mother, keep. Not time with how the modern age doth dance. There is no harm to call upon a lad.
These views, though they may be antiquated, shall be mine, whate'er the music doth require. I ne'er shall move in time with fornication, nor dance unto the beat of primal lust. 'Tis terrible, alas, to call a lad. A girl to chase a boy with siren song? When I was young, I never chased a boy, ne'er called a boy upon the telephone, ne'er sat whilst parting with a naughty boy, engaged in some impure activity.
How shall I then meet somebody to love, to share the length and wonder of these days?
Kind fate shall thread the matter carefully. It shall be unto thee as 'twas for me, when I thy father met so long ago.
Nay, 'twas not fate, it was grandfather's car which hit my father with a dreadful force.
Nay, for fate moves in mysterious ways. Its wonders to perform 'twas meant to be. If thy grandfather had not struck him, then I'll warrant none of ye had e'er been born.
One aspect of the tale, though, doth confuse. What trade did father ply that brought him to the middle of the street that fateful day?
What was it, George? Remind me if thou wilt. Wert thou outside to watch a fledgling bird with feathers soft and body round and supple?
Oh, what sayest thou, Lorraine? Yea, what impliest?
Whate'er it was, grandfather hit him then. The car did nearly make him carrion and brought the boy inside the house space, apace. Thy father, who was then no father, but a helpless boy and innocent of heart, did seem more like a puppy than a man. My spirit nearly burst to see him ill, and thus did hurt begin to turn my heart.
Thou hast told this story 1,000 times, that we, thy children, may recite it too. Thou didst feel sorry for the bruised boy George, so thou didst go with him unto the dance, the happy fish that swan beneath the sea.
Thy memory is far more fallible than dost thou think, dear. For the dance was called Enchantment 'neath the Sea, our fond first date. First evening of romance and courtship sweet, first memories together side by side, first moments of a long life full of love. There was a horrid thunderstorm that night. Dost thou remember, George? He listens not, though somewhere deep within I know he hears. 'Twas there upon the dance floor that same night thy father kissed me with passion strong. Then was it I did know within my soul I would most gladly spend my life with him, live by him day by day to face the world, we two a pair of lovers for the ages.
George, not listening, laughs at the television.
Television! What a fine invention! Invention of ingenious, witty people! Companion true unto my weary moments.
Exit all but Lorraine.
My life hath not unfolded since that night, as I had once expected it would go. Were I an author writing out a life, I might have put more passion in the tale, more sweet sensation in the lovers' scenes, more pure emotion from the gentleman. My life was writ with far too few surprises, too little of the shot of Cupid's bow, too limited a taste of love's great feast. Had I the chance to script a page of life, I would have had more of kisses, more of touch, more of the glances shared betwixt a pair of lovers who do not know each other well. Give me the pen and I shall write a book to put the famous tales of love to shame. Eurydice and Orpheus, no match. Kind Guinevere and Lancelot, a jest. Isolde and Tristan, feeble were their hearts. Proud Paris and his Helen, she of Troy, my story would outshine those lovers all. Alas, I am no poet of love lines, nor are my days more than quotidian. Lorraine doth live, not right, a human life, in which she is not lover, nay, but wife.
Exit. Scene 4 at the Twin Pines Mall.
Up, Marty, from thy rest, and come apace. I hope thou art sleeping whilst I wait.
Marty wakes suddenly and answers the phone.
Hey. Nay, Doc, not sleep, but something very like. I would not leave thee alone tonight.
Pray, hear me, Marty. I have quite forgot the instrument wherewith I may record our going-ons tonight. My camera, with video to capture our brave deeds. Wilt thou to my resident anon, delivering the camera hence to me?
At once. I'll fail thee not, and see thee soon.
Exit Doc. Marty rushes to Doc's residence.
The self-same camera he doth desire is here, and I shall bring it unto him. Upon my trusted skateboard through the town, Now unto Twin Pines Mall to hear Doc's plan, with which he hath recently obsessed. It may prove to be, I have no clue, with Doc, though ever it is interesting.
Enter Einstein next to a cargo truck.
To Twin Pines Mall I come, and 1:15 is shown upon the clock that standeth here. There is Doc's truck, and there his loyal dog. E'en Einstein, smartest canine I do know. But where is Doc? Oh, Einstein, dost thou know? Where is thy master? Hast thou seen him?
Though I am dog-like in mine appetite, I have no taste, a secret to preempt. Thus wait, I bid thee, Marty. Sooner now thou shalt perceive Doc's brilliance for thyself. Woof, woof.
The back door of the truck opens. Enter Dr. Emmett Brown in a DeLorean car.
Well put, Einstein. Those classes on Hooked on Phonics are coming along great. What wonder is this, though? What adventure glorious! Unless mine eyes deceive, before me is the most distinctive silver frame of the DeLorean, a car most non-pareil. That's a word our teens need to learn in school. The future we do glimpse through these machines, of which I've heard, but have never seen. Even so, 'tis clear to me the car is changed, with alterations built for certain tasks. The plate upon its rear reads, "Out a time," a message of some urgency perchance, or with deeper meaning yet to grasp. All shall I soon discover, by my troth. The door of this, the stunning four-wheeled marvel, upward like the wings of a Pegasus, now flanked on every side by smoke and steam, the figure of Doc Brown comes into view.
My friend, good Marty, thou art hither come.
Nor would I miss this moment, I do swear.
Thou welcome art who mine experiment. The biggest venture did I e'er attempt, the one for which I waited all my life.
Thou hast, I see, a sleek DeLorean.
Be patient, and thy questions shall find answer. Begin to make a record of the night, and I'll unfurl a story to delight.
What dost thou wear? Is that a Devo suit?
Nay, never mind thou art, for if a problem comes along, be sure I shall whip it, Marty.
Indeed. Proceed then, I beseech thee, Doc. I stand prepared, thy genius, to record.
Marty begins using the video camera to record Doc.
Friends, makers, countrymen, lend me your ears. My name ye know, 'tis Dr. Emmett Brown. I stand upon the stony parking lot of Twin Pines Mall, Hill Valley, California. It is the early morn of Saturday, October 26th, St. Crispin's Day, just past of 1985. The time upon the clock is 18 anti-meridium, to be precise. Here ye shall witness history, my friends. Observe my temporal experiment, which shall be numbered 1, the very first. Come, Einstein, climb into the shiny vehicle, the shiny car, which glows with silver sheen of mercury.
Einstein jumps into the DeLorean's driver's seat.
In now, and sit thee down upon the seat. Place now, as I assist the safety belt round thy beloved shaggy canine hide. Behold, there the lens that doth lie, the clock that Einstein and myself do wear. Place note that Einstein's clock is synchronized with this, mine own control watch, twin of his. Can't see it, Marty, through the camera.
Forsooth, I see it clearly through the sight. Proceed, I pray. Thy tale, doctor, would cure deafness.
Be well, my friend. Einstein, watch thy head, and may thy voyage bear abundant fruit. With this remote, I'll conquer the remote.
I prithee, isn't connected to the car?
Behold, I bid thee, Marty.
As thou wilt.
Doc moves the car with the remote control.
Amazing power held within his hands. The potent car doth leap at his command, and 'twere a phantom sat behind the wheel. By Jove, the thing is fast! Across the lot it spins with speed like chariot of old that plunges from the high above when Icarus provoked the gods and tried to touch the sun. Doc, say, what is this power?
Film not me, but keep focus always on the car.
The car doth face us now across the lot, and though wise Doc hath parked it far away, 'tis ominous. Its light aimed straight at us, as if it had a mind on its some revenge, and we too were the target of its ire. How bleak its stare reminds me of a tale about a rank enchantress named Christine.
If every calculation is correct, when this, my baby, source of all my hopes, doth hit upon the speed of 88 in miles per hour, then, Marty, verily, thine eyes shall witness shit most serious.
The car accelerates, yet doth not move, but spins its tire far faster than a cyclone. It burneth rubber like a mighty pyre, and rocketh back and forth with energy, each centimeter itching for release. The meter doth hold goes up, and shows the speed potential rising higher. 10, 20, 30, 40, more than 60, even fleeter than a cheetah at a sprint. Doc flips the switch, and now the car doth come. It groweth closer, like a comet that doth make its way across the starry heavens and passes through the atmosphere of Earth. This comet, though, seems bound to hit us both. The car approaches quickly, like a bolt, with Einstein smiling happily inside. I'm afeard. Hath Doc lost his senses? Is mine own friend my doom?
Fear not, behold, the time is near, soon thou shalt wonders see.
Past 70, past 80, then white light surrounds us, brighter than the sun!
The car, approaching them quickly, disappears as it travels through time.
What's this? A trick? A jest? The car is gone, and in its wake, a pair of flaming tracks.
What hast I said to thee, my friend? 'Tis 88 in miles per hour, forsooth. The temporal displacement hath occurred precisely on the clock stroke of 1:20 and 0 seconds.
Zounds! The car is gone! Naught doth remain except the metal plate, which burneth me as I pick it up. Ah, son of a bitch. Oh, out of time! What doth your message mean? This wondrous night entire is out of time, and out of sense, and out of all belief. What hast thou fashioned, Doc? Is Einstein slain, disintegrated into a million pieces?
Not be disintegrated, Marty. Nay, take heart and be thou calm. I shall explain. Each molecule and bit of Einstein and the car itself are utterly intact.
Intact, yet disappeared. Hell's fire, good Doc. What are they? Where are they? If not here before our eyes.
Thy question not appropriately asked. 'Tis not the where, my friend, but the when. My loyal Einstein, e'en here, become the first time traveler the world hath known. He hath been sent to the future. See, 1 minute in the future, by my troth, when 'tis 1:21 and 0 seconds. Our time shall reach where he already is, where Einstein and the time machine are both.
For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I don't know what to say. Yet prithee, speak. Dost thou tell me thou built a time machine inside the frame of a DeLorean? Was ever science this humor plied? Was ever science this humor what?
As I perceive the matter, if one shall create a time machine out of a car, then wherefore not fulfill the task with style? Some matters practical give reason to the stainless steel construction of the car doth make the flux dispersal. Oh, take heed!
Doc pushes Marty aside as the car reappears, skidding to a halt.
Oh, me, that I were still at home in bed.
The car doth rock and creak and blow forth smoke as it had experienced a storm and was the worse for fear. I'll ope the door. Alack, a foul idea.
Why? Is it hot? For as it seems so, methinks it must be.
Nay, nay, 'tis cold, like Satan heart itself. My boot I shall employ to do the deed.
Doc opens the door with his foot.
The warp and woof of time I have traversed, and come out the other side intact. The car conveyed me quickly through the lot. I plummeted toward both Doc and Marty, afraid I peradventure would come crashing into these gentlemen whom I adore, and in so doing break my canine heart. Instead, it seemed a lightning bolt did strike, as though 'twere thrown by some Olympian god. A sudden deep sensation filled my bones, like tingling from my pate unto my tail, my paws unto the middle of my back. The flash subsided, and the men had moved away from danger, as though by some magic. Did e'er a dog so enjoy so strange a life? Was e'er a master as astute as mine? Woof, woof.
Oh, Einstein, wondrous animal! Behold, his clock and mine are split. His runs behind 1 minute after mine, yet both still tick, maintaining movements true.
The talking dog, it seems, hath lived.
The dog is well. Completely unaware of what hath been, in his experience the trip was smooth, a journey instantaneous indeed. Thus is his clock 1 minute after mine. He hath that minute skipped, and instantly arrived upon this bank and shoal of time. Come hither, and I'll show thee how it works.
Oh, I shall. For more of this, I'd gladly know.
Doc and Marty approach the car.
First, one must activate the time circuits. 3 screens display when that shall go. The first one tells thee whither thou art bound, the second telleth thee whence thou art to come, and third doth tell where and when thou wert. Thou must upon this simple keypad put the time of thine indeed destination. Wouldst thou bear witness to the signing of the Declaration of Independence? 'Twould be the July of 4th of 1776. Mayhap thou wouldst prefer to be a magus at the birth of Christ. Thou wouldst put in December 25th, when Anno Domini itself began. And what of the date and letter I recall within the very history of science, November 5th of 1955. Even as I type the code, the memories rush turbidly to my brain and do fill up my mind like water in a tub. November 5th of 1955, the verse itself doth spring into my mind. Remember the 5th of November, 'twas my flux capacitor thought. There's no reason or rhyme why the travel through time should ever be forgot.
What is it, Doc? For I do not know.
'Twas then I first time travel did conceive, how vividly the memory of the day comes swooping bird-like to my aged mind. I stood far too unsteady and unsure upon the precipice of my commode. 'Twas my intent to fix a timepiece there, high on the wall above my humble throne. The porcelain was wet, and was it wont, it is which caused my feet to slip and me to fall. My head did meet the sink, and with knock immense, and there I lay, unconscious on the floor. Yet, whether fall or fate, thou canst decide, for, as I woke, a vision came to me, sent by, no doubt, some saint of blessed science, with flights of angels sang me to my best. The vision was a revelation pure, wherein I saw the future and the past, all available even to the human grasp. I saw a picture blazoned on my mind, a picture I would earnestly pursue, a picture I would chase for 30 years, a picture that was worth 1,000 words, a picture that gave unto me my aim, my lifelong work, the flux capacitor.
What is this wondrous flux capacitor?
Near 30 years and all my family's fortune I've spent to see the vision of the day. Oh heavens, hath so long a time elapsed? They do speak true to who utter tempest fugis and carpe diem, also by my troth. Within those years there's much hath changed nearby. How I remember when this was all farmland, far as the eye could see or voice could shout. 'Twas old man Peabody who owned this plot, a character most strange. He even wished to breed varieties of pine trees here.
Oh, heavy times, begetting such events. This is fantastical to the extreme. The car, say no more of it, Doc. Doth it run on regular unleaded gasoline?
Unfortunately, nay. It doth require substance with stronger kick indeed. Plutonium, though rare and dangerous, doth power this miraculous machine.
Beg pardon? For I heard plutonium, which must not be the word that thou hast used. Is it possible mine ears have heard aright? Dost thou report this craft is nuclear?
Film further, for mine answer is important. Nay, the splendid craft's electrical, yet it requires a nuclear reaction to generate the mighty current of the 1.21 in gigawatts of power electrical that I do need.
Yet, Doc, unless mine information's poor, one may not purchase at a local market of vital plutonium to use. The unstable element is far too scarce. Pray, tell me true. Hast thou the substance filched?
Forsooth, I stole it from a rotten group of nationalists, they of Libya. They did pursue my special services and bid me make a rank-destroying bomb, with which who knows what villainy they'd ply. I took their treasure, the plutonium, and did present them with a bomb most false, mere casings with the pinball's parts inside. Was not this clever? Quickly, find a suit that shall protect thee from the radiation. The car we shall reload and travel more.
Doc stole plutonium? All is not well. I doubt some foul play. Would the night were over! Till then, sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise through all the earths, overwhelm them to our eyes.
Marty dons a radiation suit while Doc picks up the plutonium.
Most carefully this matter I must handle, else shall the matter end most grievously. Within the waiting tube cylindrical I shall deposit this plutonium, a twist most gentle, and at once it flies.
Plutonium is sucked into the DeLorean.
With hearty appetite the car hath taken it. Now all is safe. The chamber's lined with lead. The tapes thou hast recorded on this night, I bid thee guard them carefully, my friend. We shall need record of this fateful night. I am prepared to travel once again, to venture across the passageways of time. If I, despite my scattered, anxious thoughts, my luggage can remember ere I go, 'twould be most humorous if I appeared sans undergarments in future time. Who knoweth if the future still doth use the cotton underwear of which I am fond? I shall progress, thought be undressed or stressed. Then shall my allergy to synthetics not be hindrance to my synthesis of time and space of present, past, and future.
The future? Is it then that thou art bound?
Yea, Marty, verily, 'tis mine intent anon to travel 25 years hence. Long have I dreamed of witnessing the future, of seeing moments far beyond my years. I long to see the path of humankind and what advances our shrewd race hath made.
And wherefore not? Thou hast the means to do it.
So many small discoveries I'll make, not just the serious developments, but also those quotidian delights that make a human life enjoyable. For instance, I shall learn which baseball teams become World Series champs through 2010. At least, methinks, by then the Cubs must win.
If I may make a small request, might make, my friend, wouldst thou look in on me when thou'st arrivest?
I shall, and would not miss thee for the world. I prithee, roll once more the video.
Marty resumes recording. Doc opens the door of the DeLorean.
I, Dr. Emmett Brown, shall soon embark upon a journey of historic scope. Aha! What folly! I have near forgot to bring an excess of plutonium with which I shall come safely home again. How should I make return without its strength? One pellet for one trip? I am most mad.
Behold, my master, someone doth approach. Woof!
Wherefore art thou barking, Einie?
Look there, towards the entrance of the lot. Woof!
My God, they found me. How?
I do not know, and tis clear they found me nonetheless. And 'twere I were a needle in a haystack, which they had found, and soon would thread the eye. Nay, it cannot be. Run, Marty, run!
Who is it who hath found thee? Tell me, Doc.
Whomst dost thou think? The frightful Libyans!
Enter 2 Libyans in a van.
When ye behold me, see no enemy, and neither let thy bias typecast me, and call me monster, villainous, and crude. My homeland, which I love, is quite a marvel, a culture beautiful and flourishing. Our Tuareg music sends our feet to dance, our pipes resound in stirring melodies, with drums that mark the beating of our hearts. How I love feasts of shorba and bazin, prepared the way my family did eat them, made from tomatoes, red as summer sun. Our country is a home to the Sahara, the desert of 1,000 tales and songs, whose vast, forbidding sandbanks are renowned. My country skies are bluer than the ocean, and sunlight beameth on Aleppo pine. But other lands have sunlight too. Moreover, the skies are everywhere as blue as mine. Oh, hear my song, thou God of all the nations, a song of peace for their land and for mine. Nay, call me not an enemy, my friend, for I am one who'd gladly welcome peace. And when the time for peace hath fled and gone, when others do betray us wrongfully, shall we not act? Hath not a Libyan eyes? Hath not a Libyan his hands and organs, dimensions, senses, passions, and affections? Fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, and subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, both warmed and cooled too by the same winter and summer as yourselves. If you prick us, do we not bleed? Or if you tickle us, do we not laugh? Yea, if you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge?
The Libyans begin shooting at Doc and Marty.
Alas, we too are in the quagmire now. They strike at us with murderous intent.
I'll lead them hence and draw away their fire.
Nay, Doc, attempt thou no heroic deeds.
The Libyans corner Doc.
The gun I hold within my trembling hand, I throw aside, for lo, it worketh not.
Doc tosses his gun.
If ye have hearts, I plead, I beg for mercy. The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. The power is greatest when mercy seasons justice.
Justice 'tis.
Libyan 1 shoots Doc, who dies.
Nay! Bastard base!
Why bastard? Why base?
Although my words bespeak my bravery, I must turn tail and flee, or end like dog.
Marty is cornered by the Libyans.
Mine end is near. Farewell, cruel life, and short.
Libyan 1's gun jams. Libyan 2 fails to start their van.
Oh, spared for another moment, yet to live. Unto the car I'll fly, which shall convey me faster than my feet could ever flee.
This Russian gun, fie!
Up this German van!
Get thee hence, that we may kill the young one too.
The van drives once more. Marty climbs in the DeLorean to drive away, and the Libyans begin chasing Marty.
Shut thou the door, and swiftly, Marty, too, or else these moments may be thy last. My friend, my Doc, is murdered for mine eyes, and I shall join him if I do not flee. He was a kind man, generous of heart, who hath a mind inventive and astute, a bit outrageous, yea, but such are they who could create a future none can see. me! Not since the war wherein brave Hector fell, pursued by harsh Achilles to the death, did such a foe chase down a hero good. I shall not let them beat me too herein, and that they may desecrate my body as the mean Achilles did to Hector's corpse. Drive now, DeLorean, and keep me safe. Bear me away from these bleak men apiece. They shoot at me, yet happily they miss the mark. These gears of this machine I quickly shift, and as I do, the screens and instruments light up, though I've no time to read their meaning. Still, in the rearview mirror, I can see them fiddling with their guns to end my life. I parry, dodge, and drive even faster to keep their bullets from their target. Me! Yet faster, car, drive on, be fleet of wheel, like chariots of fire, leave all behind, and in a blaze of glory help me escape! The speed ascendeth, 60, 70, ne'er have I on our highways driven thus. In tales of daring do and pure adventure, a thrilling chase is off the centerpiece. As I have watched these stories, they excite, yet in living it is far more frightening to be hunted in a scene of fear. Now, looking back once more, I do espy Almighty cannon, which they have prepared to work woe on me, destroy me utterly. I name it simply horrifying death, the reaper that hath come for young McFly. By all that is holy, I am sore afeared, yet courage does not mean one's not afraid, but standeth strong against the fear, forsooth! Even thus I stand and ready for this fight. Control shall shift and I shall here prevail. I challenge ye, you wretched filthy foes, unto a race, the wager mine own life. Not a single tortoise, not since the tortoise, or a single one, or multiple, but not since the tortoise and the wayward hare will such a race earn such a lasting fame. Also flames, you'll see in a second. Let's see if your weak man may yet attain the lightning speed of 90 miles per hour. Pray, hear the motto of mine ancestors. Ignore the bad pronunciation. No like the bastards carpons Rome. Yet even as I do accelerate, those words of dog most clearly I recall. At 88 miles per hour measured, a wondrous thing shall happen, shall it not? The thought doth come but hazily to mind. For thoughts of mere survival fill my head. Yet what is this? A sudden flash, a light, and 'twere a million stars did shine at once, and I were the center of their pull. I better pull it on my protective gear so I can see. 'Tis time, the time hath come, the time hath gone. Surrender, Marty, to this blazing light, that thou mayest live another night.
Exit. Act 2, Scene 1. The year 1955 at the Peabody farm. Enter Pa Peabody, enter Ma, Sherman, and Sis Peabody aside.
There ne'er was person steady as a tree, no man so rooted to the stable ground, no woman with a stump so strong and stout, no people with their branches lifted up while sensibly their trunk was planted fast. All trees are noble, wise, and solid too, be they deciduous or evergreen. And while I am friend to every tree, a pine tree is a human's truest friend. The pine tree is a paragon of virtue, an example true of miracles divine. Each branch stands for a possibility, each needle a perfection robed in green. A pine shall never fail you or betray, shall never gossip or put forth a lie, or give you reason e'er to doubt its heart. A pine tree doth give answer to your work, the tender maintenance you give to it with growth each year. Astounding, beautiful. Give me a pint to tend, with bark and sap, with all the precious glory of its kind, and you shall find a happy Peabody.
Enter Marty McFly appearing in the DeLorean.
Where am I now? This field, this scarecrow too. Where is the parking lot where I was driving? Is this a barn? I plunged! I crashed! Alack!
The DeLorean crashes into Pa Peabody's barn. The Peabodys rush to the barn to look at the car.
What is this eerie apparition, Pa? Methinks its lights do glow like hell's on fire.
It hath the appearance of an airplane, dear, yet hath no wing parts wherewith it may fly.
Nay, 'tis no airplane. Look, behold this book. Hath not this gadget the appearance of a flying object, unidentified, wherein a spaceman comes to sack the Earth? Space zombies come from Pluto in it, belike.
The door of the DeLorean opens, revealing Marty in his radiation suit and helmet.
Alas!
Run quickly, Ma, and fetch my musket.
The Peabodys run from the barn and Pa grabs his gun.
I am mistaken. Pray, scream not at me. A lonesome traveler, that much perplexed I am, but wish no harm to come to thee. They all have fled, and I am left alone with these few cows who will call the barn their home. I must admit, it makes some sense in this. What ho! Good citizens! I mean no harm, and sorry I am for thy lovely barn, that lately I have wrecked with this, my car!
Marty emerges from the barn, and Pa shoots at him.
Pew pew!
Already doth the wicked beast mutate into a human form. Oh, Father, shoot!
Pew pew!
Marty retreats into the barn.
Die, alien. Our planet is not thine, thou mutant son of wenches most impure. Pew pew!
Marty bursts from the barn, driving the DeLorean.
It flees within its spaceship like a fiend.
Hold, monster! Thou shalt not defile my land.
E'en now shooting end of threats I have, and would not face another ere again. Where is the peaceful life which I once led? Now all is bullets and horrific strife.
DeLorean smashes a pine tree as it drives away from the farm.
Nay, not my precious pine! Oh, naughty knave, space bastard hideous, thou killedst my pine! Ah!
Oh, Dad! No!
They love trees a lot, apparently. But take simple breaths, McFly. All is not lost. This must be but a dream, and nothing more, because who could love trees that much? A most intense and strange and awful dream. Alas, what is this sign before mine eyes? Stop, car. I must outside to see it clearly.
Marty steps out of the car.
Pillars I have seen 1,000 times, as I unto my neighborhood arrived. My parents' home in this development doth stand and always hath estate of lion. 2 matching lions lie upon the blocks, like monarchs of the forest keeping watch. Yet now, beyond those pillars, nothing is. No streets, no homes, no neighborhood of mine. Is this some trick? Some odd hallucination? Bulldozers only in a road of dirt are all that remain of mine own home. Aside, I see another sign which may prove some context of mine arcing mind. Live in tomorrow's home today, it saith.
Enter 2 senior citizens in a car.
Good gentles, can you help me? Please, I beg.
Nay, do not stop, sweet Wilbur. Drive thou on. This stranger, strangely clad, shall be our end.
Exit senior citizens.
That car was a classic from another time. Not from my era, nay, but older far. This cannot be. 'Tis madness, pure and simple.
Marty tries to start the DeLorean and it stalls.
Oh, now the car e'en fail me. Oh, perfection, a perfect muddle into which I've fallen. What's beeping here? A sensor doth report the car is missing its plutonium. Of course! For it's all as I suspect. The rare plutonium has been used up, as I did make my backwards jump into time. Then I must be in 1955. However doubtful such a truth may be, I'll push my car behind this billboard large, that none may find the thing and pilfer it. This sign upon the road that doth say Hill Valley is but a 2-mile hike away from here. However likely unlikely this scenario, although time would trap me, I'll not have it so.
Exit. Scene 2, in the town of Hill Valley. Enter various residents of Hill Valley. A car passes by with Red Thomas's image upon it. An announcer on the radio can be heard from within the car.
Elect again our Baron, good Red Thomas. For truly progress is his middle name. His progress platform meaneth more employment, improved education for the young, improvement civic, and reduced taxation. I bid thee, when election day doth come, cast your votes for a trusted, proven leader.
The car leaves. Enter Marty McFly from the same direction.
What sights I've seen since I did here arrive. This is Hill Valley town where I reside, and yet undoubtedly 'tis changed as well. The music I hear playing is no song of modern times, but something from the past. The tale of Mr. Sandman. Yeah, Metallica, but it is not quite the same. And how he assisteth in the work of bringing dreams? This drowsy Cupid, Eros by the Greeks, doth not Eros but a sleeping draught to lull a paramour of loving sleep. The song enchanted 30 years ago, and yet now sounded like old to youthful years. The films our nearby theater doth screen are also from the bygone days of yore. The Stanwyck Reagan Western that is shows doth sound to me more like a voting platform. The Reagan that I know doth lead our nation. The cars are classic from another time. The people too, arrayed as they once were in photos of history now past. The service station seemeth heaven sent. A bell dings playfully as cars approach, and men, like bees upon a fragrant flower, do swarm to help the customers at once. 'Tis all familiar, yea, yet unfamiliar. A car did pass with a message to convey. To re-elect the Baron, one Red Thomas, whom I know not, of whom I've never heard. Moreover, whilst I stood dumbstruck and gaped, the clock, the very clock which should be broken, began to chime its chime as it has never done before. Not in my lifetime, nay, it is mournful tone, Westminster, it is deep and soulful knell that shakes me to my core. Last scene of all, that ends in this strange, eventful history, was one newspaper someone did discard, which had the current date upon its masthead. Buckle up for this, November 5th of 1955. My previous opinion, I repeat, this must be some strange dream and nothing more, where people love trees by the thousands. Or yonder is, perhaps mine only hope, a public telephone in a cafe, wherein I find Doc, who should be here, wherever, whenever it may be.
Marty enters the cafe. Enter Lou Carruthers and customers of Lou's Cafe, including young George McFly. Enter Goldie Wilson aside, working.
What is thy story, Junior? What hast thou done? Jumped from a ship and wandered here?
What, sir?
The life preserver. Thou dost wear and 'twere a doublet, yet 'tis surely not, for never was there a doublet so absurd.
Forgive me. I would use thy phone, 'tis all.
'Tis in the back.
My thanks, kind sir, for this.
Marty walks to the phone and searches the phone book for Doc Brown.
A phone book. Ah, familiar tone. Indeed, at least this trusty critical device shall never be out of fashion in the future. Ah, brown! So many people have the name, as if in the rainbow had melted down and smelted, leaving only the dark hue to represent the spectrum. Here it is, one Emmett Brown, a scientist who doth reside at 1640 Riverside Drive. Hurrah! That art the one here and art alive. I call, but only ringing I do hear, an endless ringing, mocking all my hopes. Ah! I take this page with his address to find him with my feet, if nothing else. Knowest thou where 1640 Riverside?
Shalt thou some morsel order, wayward lad?
Indeed. Give me a tab.
A tab thou'lt have once thou place an order. Knowest thou not how these doth work in modern times as these?
A Pepsi free then, prithee, shall be mine.
No Pepsi free, thou must pay for thy drink.
The man doth turn my words in baffling circles, as if they were a top and he a spinner. Give me some drink that hath no sugar, yea, 'tis all I ask of thee.
Marty sits next to George, but does not notice him.
Lacking sugar. Thou art a puzzling and naughty lad. I'll give thee coffee, black, with sugar none.
Enter young Biff Tannen with Skinhead 3D and match.
Thou imp, McFly. What art thou at herein?
Both Marty and George turn their heads toward Biff.
Biff Tannen? By my troth, yet young and strong.
I speak to thee, McFly, thou Irish pest.
Hello there, Biff, and Sirazol, hello.
Marty gawks at George.
Hast thou my homework finished yet, McFly?
In truth, it is not yet complete, Biff. Because it is not due until far later than later.
Biff grabs George and begins knocking on his head.
Ow.
I'll bash thee on thy pate, and thou so speakest. Are brains herein that I must not conceive? Use thou thy mind, and with it think, McFly. I must have time enow to write the words in mine own hand, as if the work were mine. Hast thou the consequence considered, George? Should I submit some homework penned by thee, writ in the manner of thy shaky hand? I would most quickly be sent from the school. Thou wouldst not want that lot for Biff. Wouldst thou? Wouldst thou speak faster, for thy pause doth vex?
Course not, Biff. 'Twould be a tragedy.
Biff notices Marty staring at George.
Upon what lookest thou, thou arse-like pate?
Behold his life preserver, Biff. This knave, this rogue, this dork thinks he shall drown.
If I laugh, be like they'll let me be.
About the homework I require, McFly.
Forsooth, Biff, I shall finish it tonight, delivering it to thee upon the morrow. Shall this suffice?
It shall, but not too early. My wont on Sundays is to slumber late. Oh, look below, McFly. Thy shoes untied.
George looks down and Biff slaps him.
Thou art syllable by thrice, McFly. Now as I leave, hear thou these final words. I would not see thy face herein again.
Biff, what a wondrous person. Ta, farewell.
Exit Biff, Skinhead, 3D, and match. George continues eating while Marty stares.
Amazing sight. My father. Oh, 'tis he.
What is it? For thy stares are like two knives which slice the air and pierce my very visage.
By all the heavens, thou art George McFly.
Indeed, yet who art thou that I should care?
Now, wherefore should thou let those naughty boys push thee around as though thou wert their plaything?
They're bigger are than I, and if thou seest, thy number is 4, whilst I am only 1.
Stand tall and proud, my boy. Have more respect for he whom thou shouldst most respect, thyself. Dost thou not know, if in the present time thou now allowest folk to tread on thee, thy life entire shall folk repeat the walk, and thou shalt live thy whole life underfoot. Look thou on me. Thinkest thou that I shall spend my days entire within this slop house bleak?
Pray, watch thy tongue, Goldie.
Nay, not I. I shall make something better of myself. My dream shall take me far to night school now, and in the future I'll somebody be.
Indeed, 'tis right. The man shall barren be.
Yeah, I shall... Barren? What a pleasant thought. I shall be barren. Ha! So shall it be. This strangely cladded soothsayer is right. A fine idea, which well doth please my mind.
A baron. With a gender of... Nay, this is the future I'll not live to see.
I bid thee watch me closely, Sir Carruthers. I've worked on jobs with my feet and my hands, but all my work was for the other man. Now I have a chance to do things for myself. No more I'll beat my head against the wall. I shall be Baron, the most powerful person in Hill Valley. I'll clean up this town.
'Tis well. Begin by sweeping with the floor.
Lou hands Goldie a mop. Exit Lou. Exit George severally.
It soundeth sweet. Thy Baron, Goldie Wilson. Most amply would it suit my fervent goals, the worthy heart and soul I do possess, with needed progress for Hill Valley too, the town that I do love, which must yet grow.
Exit Goldie.
Wherefore hast my father, George McFly, escaped? Where? There, outside the window doth he fly, atop his bicycle, with chiming bell. How quickly he eludes discovery, as if he were engaged in some foul deed. I'll follow him, not let him disappear, for gladly would I meet someone I know in this mysterious, confusing past, even someone awkward and unsure, like father. And verily, what damage could it do to make acquaintance with a person whom I shall hereafter come to know so well? What ho, Dad, George, thou dost ride the bike. I bid thee, stop. Cease all thy peddling. Thy ne'er ears nor heart do heed my call. He heareth not, so I must follow on.
Exit Marty, chasing after George. Enter George McFly above on balcony.
With these binoculars, I shall espy a woman at her leisure being dressed. Such sight does stimulate, arouse, excite. She is the muse who sparks creative thought, one of the 9 who thus may move men's hearts. The finest of her sisters, skin like silk and pink like tulips at the height of spring. Forfend me, fate, that she turn not to siren and dash poor George's life upon the rocks. I bid ye, gentles, who may see me here atop this bow where I do bow to her. Who is the paragon of my desire? Think not that I am proud of what I do. He who is proud eats himself up. Pride is his glass, his trumpet, his own chronicle. No place hath pride amid necessity. And this sweet sight, I tell ye verily, is more necessary unto me.
Enter Marty McFly.
Behold, here is the bike, and there is the man, up in a tree and gazing on a house The man is nothing but a peeping Tom, who could not from Godiva draw his eye. Instead, he did behold her nakedness as she atop her gallant steed rode on, and was, for this offensive act, struck blind. Nay, George, I bid thee, be thou not a Tom. Tom George should be another's name, not yours, not thine. Be careful, sir, lest thou wouldest share this fate, and find thyself punished, blinded man.
Alack, I slip, I fall!
George falls from the balcony. Enters Sam Baines driving a car toward him.
Nay, father, nay! Shall my prediction happen in a trice? Nay, not while I have life and breath to stop it, as sure as I have thought or soul.
Marty pushes George out of the way and is struck by the car. Exit George.
Another youth hath jumped to thwart my car. What is it with these modern foolish boys? They're seeking for an automotive death. 'Tis like each doth believe he is James Dean, who was of late lost in a tragic crash. Would every young man seek a fate like his, that they may die as rebels, sans a cause? Pray, Stella, quickly come! Where'er thou art, come hither, we shall take him to the house. Oh, for a swifter, more responsive spouse.
Exit. Act 3, Scene 1, at the Baines house. Enter young Lorraine Baines. Enter Marty McFly aside in bed. It is dark.
In all my childhood hopes and girlish dreams, ne'er did I think the angels would deliver a man unto my house, my room, my bed. Such riches almost are too abundant. Yet I shall manage, for this injured youth is muscular and shapely, like a Greek, and I, like Circe, shall give him my welcome.
Mother, art thou here? I hear thy voice.
Be still, my dear, relax. Thou hit thy head and hast been sleeping near now 9 hours.
A nightmare. Horrible was mine this night, wherein I was a traveler back in time. Such hideous things I saw, that with the sight I trembled wake, and for the seasons after could not believe that I was but in hell. Such terrible impressions made the dream.
Thy dream is over. Thou art safe and sound back in the year of 1955.
Say what? What folly speakest thou? 1955!
Lorraine turns on a light.
Oh, eyes, can it be true? Thou art my... Yet how to end this word? Is this my mother? Be like misapprehension or mirage? My misunderstanding. Bye!
My name is called Lorraine Baines.
Ma'am, so thou art. I can see. Can it be? Forsooth, this must be some peculiar dream. Lorraine, 'tis thee, and yet it is not thee. Ne'er have I seen thee passing thin as this.
Be calm, I bid thee, Calvin. Thou hast earned a bruise upon thy pate for thy brave deeds.
I would be gone, but whither flew my pants?
Just there atop my hope chest, yea, wherein I place the articles of my desire. Thou teachest me new things, good Calvin, for I never have seen purple underwear.
Say, wherefore hast thou called me Calvin twice?
Is not thy name? Art thou called Calvin Klein? For on thy underwear it is displayed.
She reaches for the blanket as if to reveal Marty's underwear.
My codbase is not dying for viewing last.
Belike thou art called Cal. Is this the case?
Nay, nay, nay. People call me Marty. This is my name.
So must I teach myself to call him then, though in these many hours of fantasy he was called Calvin in our married life. 'Tis well to meet thee, Calvin Marty Klein.
She sits next to him on the bed.
Is it agreeable that I sit here?
Oh, fine. It's fine. It's well. It's fine. Well and fine.
The bruise upon thy head is passing large.
Lorraine reaches for Marty, who moves backward and falls off the bed.
All right.
Lorraine, art thou up there?
My mother, fie, put on thy denim pantaloons anon and join my family in the supper table.
Marty puts on his pants.
The situation goes from bad to worse. My mother, now a young, doth gaze on me as if she were a doe and I the buck.
Enter Stella Baines.
Young Marty, welcome to our humble home. Pray, how long hath thy ship been in the port?
Excuse me? For thy question is unclear.
I guessed thou wert a sailor by thy clothes. 'Tis wherefore thou dost sport a life preserver.
Ah, the Coast Guard, truly. Semper Paratus.
They walk into the family room. Enter Sam, Milton, Sally, Toby, and Joey Baines, preparing for dinner. Sam attempts to make a television work.
Sam, meet the young man thou didst nearly slay. He fareth well, the gods above be thanked.
Why wert thou in the middle of the street, a lad thine age?
Oh, pay to him no heed. The man is in a bitter mood tonight. Now, Sam, quit tampering with that machine, for supper is upon us. Marty, dear, thou knowest Lorraine. Meet also her kin. There's Milton, Sally, Toby, and just there inside the playpen, little baby Joey.
Thou art mine uncle. Gilbert Joey! Eh? Methinks thou shouldst become accustomed to the bars of this, thy playpen, toddling knave.
Young Joey loveth being in his pen and cries whenever he is taken out. We therefore leave him constantly inside, for what, methinks, could be the long-term harm. And now to eat. Dost thou like meatloaf, Marty?
Indeed, yet I should.
Marty, sit thou here.
Lorraine pushes a chair behind Marty, into which he falls.
Sam, I shall not repeat myself again. Come hither now, stop playing with the machine. Be thou a charming host and take thy seat.
The matter is resolved at last. The television worketh by my wit. We shall watch Jackie Gleason as we eat.
'Tis our first television, verily. My father hath acquired the thing today. Hast thou a television too, sweet Marty?
Oh, of course, as thou shouldst know, we too possess.
Two, truly? Zounds, that must be wondrous rich.
Oh, Milton, nay, the youth doth the just with thee, for no one hath two television sets. 'Twould be a luxury beyond belief, an excess past imagination's bounds.
Hey, this program is familiar unto me. I'd watched it once before. A classic tis! Herein Ralph dresses as an alien. Bang zoom, he doth exclaim, like one from space.
What meanest thou hast watched the show ere now? 'Tis new and not from some past wonder year.
Indeed for thee, I spied it on a rerun.
What means this word, this rerun?
Thou shalt learn.
Thou seemest so familiar to mine eyes. Know I thy mother?
Likely. Very likely.
Then should I call her soon, that she may have no cause to worry or thy whereabouts?
Thou canst not, mayest not, shalt not. I mean, what is I should say is that no one is at home. Not yet. Another subject quickly. Say, do you ken the lane called Riverside?
'Tis on the other end of our fair town, 1 block past Maple on the eastern side.
Did I hear right? 1 block past Maple, yea? 'Tis named for John F. Kennedy, it's not?
By all that is in heaven or in hell. Tell me, who is this John F. Kennedy?
Oh, Mother, if 'tis true that Marty's parents are traveling now, should he not spend the night? 'Tis but our Christian duty, is it not? To show our hospitality to strangers and mayhap entertain the angels thus. 'Tis certain father nearly killed him when he struck him with our wagon earlier.
Indeed, Lorraine doth speak the truth, young Marty. Belike thou should remain here for a night, watched over by the Baineses and their bairns. Thy life is our responsibility.
I do not know if it is a good idea.
He shall sleep in my room, even in my bed, his tender cheek upon my pillow, yea, his dreams caught in the ether with mine own, and dancing merrily toward our future.
Lorraine grasps Marty's knee under the dinner table.
Alas, 'tis time to flee, to fly, to flow. 'Twas wonderful to meet you, thank you all. You were gracious, generous family, and later I shall see ye once again. Much later, far, far later. By my trough, past the pines, way down the road. Goodbye.
Exit Marty.
A strange young man indeed. Aye, passing strange.
An idiot. A fallen rogue. It is his upbringing, I have no doubt. His errant parents, though I know them not, may also be described as idiots. Lorraine, I bid thee hear thy father's words. And thou hast simple children, such as he, be sure I shall disown thee presently.
Exit. Scene 2, at Doc Brown's house and just outside Hill Valley. Enter Marty McFly. The DeLorean is aside, outside of town beneath some bushes.
Here I am, 1640 Riverside, though known to me as John F. Kennedy, wherein I should find Doc and make some sense of all that I have seen since I arrived. Already I have witnessed
Speak not a word.
That I would never have believed. Even yesterday, my father and my mother both so young, and filled with life and vigor, so I ne'er have seen their future still in front of them. Doc shall know how to get me hence from here, and take me once more to my rightful home. Behold, this house, how glorious and tall, a mansion such as Doc should ne'er afford. This must be what once did catch a fire, yet I have come before the matches struck. I'll knock upon the heavy wooden door. Ne'er was a knock so vital in my life.
He knocks. Enter Dr. Emmett Brown at the door, wearing a contraption on his head.
Doc, is it thee?
Speak not a word, I pray.
They enter the house.
Come thou inside, yet tell me not thy name, nor aught about thy life or thine intent.
Doc, I...
Nay, quiet. Tell me nothing, lad.
'Tis me. 'Tis Marty. Thou must help me. Doc?
Tut, tut, say not whilst I experiment.
Doc affixes a large sensor to Marty's forehead.
Thy thoughts I'll read, and 'twere a tomb of tales, a plain as Homer's text and Aesop's fables. Thou comest from mighty distance.
Yay!
Do not tell, for I may clearly read. Thou'st come in the hope that I from thee shall buy a regular subscription to the Saturday Evening Post. 'Tis true.
Nay, Doc.
Art thou a politician, thus to speak when none would wish to hear thee? Cease thy prattle, I read thy book again, and know its plot. Thou wouldst receive from me donations for the Coast Guard Youth Auxiliary, eh?
Marty pulls the sensor from his forehead.
Doc, hear me. I have from the future come. Within a time machine of thine invention have I come hither, 1955. Thy help I do require to take me back unto mine own time, 1985.
My God above, dost thou know what this means? The import of thy words or to thy work, the finding thou hast here put on display. It means this damn contraction worketh not.
Thou must help. Though thou believest me not, thou art the only one who knowledge hath of how this time machine doth work.
A time machine? I've not invented such.
I'll prove it to thee. Doc. Behold this card. My license, wherein I may drive a car. It doth expire in 1987. See thou my birthday? I am not yet born. This picture too, see and believe, old friend, my brother and my sister and myself. The shirt she weareth in tells the entire tale. It readeth, class of 1984.
'Tis mediocre photographic fakery. A child would do better job than this. Most shoddy work by amateurish hand. Thy brother's hair is cut off from the rest.
I tell thee nothing but the honest truth. Thou must believe, or find me a great man.
Pray, tell me then, thou future lad, who is president of these states united? Where thou comes from, thy 1985?
'Tis Ronald Reagan.
He? The actor? Ha! Is Jerry Lewis then vice president? Jane Wyman, I suppose, is our first lady. Jack Benny, secretary of the treasury? Shall jesters then come for our senators? Shall wrestling men become our governors, while businessmen turn into heads of state?
Doc,
what ho? Stay, Doc. I bid thee, waiting here.
Good e'en of thy jest I've had now. Farewell, thou future lad, I shall no more.
Doc shuts a door on Marty. Marty talks to him through the door.
Nay, Doc, I may yet prove I speak the truth. The bruise that thou hast upon thy head white, I know whence it hath come, yea, and wherefore. Thou didst unfold to me the tale entire. Upon the precipice of thy commode, thou stoodest, intent to fix a timepiece there. Thou fellest and knockst thy head against the sink. Then did a picture come into thy mind. Thy miracle, the flux capacitor, which maketh possible time travel. Truly, believe it or not, yet now I do.
Doc opens the door.
Thy words, each one a wonder to conceive. However strange, I see thou speakest true.
Oh, blessed change! Thou hadst me worried so.
They moved to the hidden DeLorean.
I hid the time machine outside the town. Something there is that doesn't love a starter. Therefore, beneath a bramble it doth lie, until it can be made to drive once more.
This strange contraption hath a car's appearance, yet like no automobile I ever seen. Once I did fall this morning, I drew this.
Doc pulls out a sketch of the flux capacitor.
The flux capacitor! I know it well! Behold, my friend, the work of 30 years as I exhibit how a simple sketch has, by thine hand, become reality.
Marty opens the door and turns on the flux capacitor.
It worketh! Oh, it worketh! Mark the day! I finally invented aught that worketh!
Most certain 'tis that it worketh. That I stand in 1955 is ample proof. Thou couldst bet bottom dollar. It is so.
Let us sneak this unto my laboratory. We shall return thee home. This I do vow.
They push the DeLorean back to Doc's house.
The night we sent me hither to this time, we made a record of the experiment. This video I shall connect unto thine television, that thou mayest behold.
Marty connects the camera to the television.
Come now, and thou shalt see what we have done.
The video begins playing. Doc from the future speaks in the video.
'Tis I! Observe how old I have become. Friends, makers, countrymen, lend me your ears. My name ye know. 'Tis Doc Emmett Brown. I stand upon the stony parking lot of Twin Pines Mall, Hill Valley, California. Thanks be to God, I still have all my hair. Yet, what are these strange garments I am wearing?
Oh, arrayed art thou in radiation suit.
A radiation suit? Of course! From all the fallout of atomic war, methought it would so. I see 'tis, or never there's there peacetime made to last. Meanwhile, this small contraption doth amaze, a handheld television studio, which one may record whatever transpires. No wonder 'tis thy president was once an actor, with his name known through the globe. His visage, then compartment must be pleasing unto a television audience.
I have advanced the tape unto the part that I would have thee see, Doc. Vital 'tis.
Nay, the splendid craft's electrical, yet it requires a nuclear reaction to generate the mighty current of the 1.21 gigawatts. What did I say? I pray thee, play it back.
Marty rewinds the tape.
Nay, the splendid craft's electrical, yet it requires a nuclear reaction to generate the mighty current of 1.21 gigawatts of electrical power that I do need. 1.21 gigawatts! Gigawatts of 1.21! Great Scott! What have I done? How can it be?
Doc! What in hell's name is a gigawatt?
How could I be so careless, so unthinking? A 1.21 in gigawatts.
Doc picks up a picture of Thomas Edison.
Friend, companion, and inventor wise, how shall I generate this awesome power? Not even thee, in all thy harsh debates with Tesla, as your two most brilliant minds did wrestle with the matter's most electric, conceive of such a great and staggering sum as 1.21 gigawatts. It cannot be accomplished, can it? Nay.
Oh, no, 'tis simple, Doc, and I shall tell thee how. As thou in 30 years will tell me. We need no more than some plutonium.
In thy 1985, perchance, plutonium is found in every market, upon the shelves with cheese or milk or eggs. As simple in the buying as a pear or onions for a picnic at the park. In 1955, however, 'tis far harder to obtain plutonium. With my regrets, good Marty, I'll explain. Thou shalt be bound until this present time, canst never leave as long as thou shalt live.
Well, canst never leave. Oh, speakest not these words. I must return and not be here confined. I have a life in 1985. Moreover, there is my lass, my Jennifer, who, like the loyal true Penelope, will be there waiting for me.
Is she fair?
Oh, her beauty is beyond compare to me. And whether 'tis by luck or miracle, she loveth me with whole and eager heart. Look thou upon this note that she hath writ, whereupon she doth proclaim she doth love me. This simple paper verifies my claims.
Incomprehensible this matter is.
Pray, say not so. Thou art mine only hope.
I'm sorry, Marty, but the only source that can such massive electricity produce to reach the powerful magnitude, even 1.21 in gigawatts, of which I know, is from a lightning bolt.
What hast thou said?
A lightning bolt. Unfortunately, 'tis impossible, unless thou can communicate with Zeus. Ask him to lend to thee his flaming rods, and have the gods look kindly on thy quest. This matter is hopeless for none do know the when or where a lightning bolt shall strike.
None, save for one who hath come from the future! We knoweth well, behold this pamphlet here, which upon the back my Jennifer did write. She loveth me.
Marty hands the pamphlet to Doc.
Our town's clock tower struck by lightning, eh? And 'twill be soon, the time doth come apace. Thou hast the answer, Marty, this is it. The pamphlet does report a lightning bolt shall strike the large clock tower on the stroke of 10:04 at night on Saturday, this coming Saturday, by happenstance, if we mayhap can harness all the power that cometh from the lightning's mighty bolt, direct it into the flux capacitor, and do so at the perfect instance too, belike the plane shall work, and send thee home upon the night of Saturday the next, will send thee back to the future, forsooth.
Tis well, and Saturday sufficeth. A fortnight's half in 1955 shall be like a vacation for mine soul. Thou canst show me the hill valley of the past. I'll hang about and lunch at Lou's Cafe.
Nay, Marty, nay, this must not, cannot be. There is no question of thy living life, and 'twere a holiday that thou enjoyest. Thou must remain herein within this house, and neither nor see nor talk with anyone. Aught thou shalt do, the smallest action taken may lead to repercussions serious. 'Tis like the fable thou hast surely heard. Recall the one who traveled back in time and did no more than crush a butterfly. Yet when he did return upon the time, all hath changed by his most careless act. His future was unwittingly transformed. Time builds on time as if 'twere dominoes. One where one doth fall, the others fall thereafter. The sequence vital. When 'tis modified, the future is recognizable. Say, dost thou comprehend these crucial words?
Alas, bethink Doc's warning comes too late. Indeed, 'tis plain. My thanks for thy concern.
Oh, Marty, hast thou interaction had with anybody else besides myself?
'Tis possible. My parents I have seen. Perhaps some unexpected scenes with all.
Great Scott! I prithee, let me see again the photograph of thou siblings too.
Marty hands Doc the photograph.
'Tis as I feared. My theory hath been proven. Behold, thy brother, headless like horseman.
Completely gone, like it had been erased.
Not simply from the photograph gone hence, deleted utterly from all existence. Young Marty, in thy brief encounters here, thou hast fallen in a situation grave. Whatever hath happened, shall we to negate. Thine actions will undo or be undone. Thou somehow hast unspun the knit of fate, and soon new patterns that shall work thee woe. Already dost thou thread work on thy brother. More like a noose unto his missing head. Upon the morrow let our work begin. There hath a challenge made, Doc Brown afeard. We shall unto the school, where we two shall retie the knot betwixt thy mom and dad. Thy future time, therefore, thou mayest still claim, familiar, unaffected, still the same.
Exit. Scene 3, at Hill Valley High School. Enter Marty McFly and Doc Brown.
The school doth look so tidy, fresh, and new, as though a dignitary were expected. You agree with me, don't you, Doc? This place is clean.
Remember, if my theory is correct, thou hast by chance in some way interfered at the first meeting of thy parents too. If they meet not, they shall not fall in love. If they fall not in love, they shall not marry. If they do not marry not, they shall have no offspring. And if they have no offspring, Marty, then I fear for thee what may on thee befall. Methinks 'tis why thine older brother Dave is disappearing from the photograph. Thy older sister follows him in time. Unless thou canst repair the damage done, 'twill be thy fate as well to disappear.
So heavy is this matter, by my troth.
Nay, Marty, weight hath naught to do with all.
Enter George McFly and other high school students. Enter Lorraine Baines aside with her friends.
The students come.
The students come. Which pupil is thy father?
Just there, assaulted by a band of boys.
Some boys kick George as he walks down the hall with a kick me sign on his back.
Now, ha ha ha! Your jests are over, and you are so funny and mature as well.
How it doth pain me, seeing father thus. Some brute hath written kick me on a sign, affixed it to my father's waiting back, and now the cowards render him his due. Oh, father, was it ever thus for thee?
Yeah, thou wert adopted, possibly?
Just indeed, and full of wit and mirth. Your nasty kicks hath made me drop my books. Which one of ye shall pick them up?
Exit boys. Enter Sir Strickland.
McFly.
By Jove, Sir Strickland, 30 years unchanged. Hath this man ne'er had a wisp of hair? Unlike his constant baldness turned him sour.
Take care, McFly, and make myself. Thou art a slacker and a laggard too. Wouldst thou be thus abused thy life entire?
Nay.
Exit Sir Strickland in disgust.
Wherefore did thy mother give him notice? How looked she with favor on this imp?
I know not, Doc. She says she pitied him because her father struck him with their car. Aye, there's the rub. He struck not George, but me!
'Tis known in scientific circles as the Florence Nightingale effect. Indeed, to fall in love with one for whom one helps. It happens also in our hospitals, when nurses with their parents are enamored. Now to thy work, and lad, on doing that which thou mistakenly hast done before.
Marty approaches George and helps him pick up his books.
George, friend and comrade mine, how hast thou been? I nearly everywhere have searched for thee. Dost thou remember me, the person whom hath rescued thee from harm not long ago?
Indeed.
Good. There is someone thou shouldest meet.
Marty guides George over to Lorraine and her friends.
Lorraine, hello.
Oh, Calvin, thou art here, thou whom I feared I'd never see again.
Pray, let me introduce thee to my friend, a lad of some renown, and handsome too. A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all the honorable virtues. Yeah, a person excellent. It's George McFly.
The pleasure of meeting is mine own.
How is thy precious pitiable pate?
Exit George in dismay.
It's fine, 'tis well.
So worried have I been since thou did wander hence the other night. Pray tell me, art thou well? For if thou art not, I shall be sadder than the day is long.
Be not afraid, for I am well indeed.
The school bell rings.
Alas, I am bound to fly to my next class. I must see thee again. See what I said? Is he not captain of a mighty ship, the pilot of a dream boat in the stream?
Exit all but Marty and Doc.
How should I play these cards? Doc, for the girl hath hardly looked in his direction. See?
The situation's worse than I had thought. The odds are stacked against our weaker hand. Apparently, this queen would take the jack instead of the true king who suits her best. My mother is infatuated with her son, even thee, as if we're the Greeks and you an Oedipus to her Jocasta.
What? Wait, one moment, Doc. Did thou say? Does my mother burn it hot for me?
Precisely thus.
He's heavy by my troth.
There is one word which thou dost use again. 'Tis heavy, all is heavy unto thee. Why hath the future so much heaviness? Hath aught disrupted something in the earth, affecting its own pull of gravity?
What? Is it ever only science with thee?
The only way those Homo sapiens shall be convinced to mate with one another is to get them together by themselves, thy mother and thy father. Therefore, we must have interaction in a social space.
A date in layman's terms. Such dost thou mean?
Forsooth.
Yet I have no idea what for do children do in the 1950s. Do.
They are thy parents, or shall one day be. Thou must know aught about their preferences. What are their common interests and likes? How do they pass their many hours together?
Not that doth come to mind.
Doc notices a sign on the wall.
Behold, this sign, a rhythmic ceremonial ritual, approacheth on our vital Saturday.
The enchantment neath the sea dance, Doc, of course! The memory comes so swiftly to my mind. It is their fate together to attend, wherein the lover shall share their first kiss.
The plan is sealed there. Wheels are set in motion. Stick to thy father, and 'twere glue to wood. No more shall we be led by happenstance. Make certain that he takes her to this dance.
Exit. Scene 4. In the Hill Valley High School cafeteria. Enter George McFly seated alone at a table. Enter other students, including Lorraine Baines aside with her friends.
Alone, as usual, another lunch with only pen and paper at my side, mine only friends with which to spend my time. I shall immerse myself in other worlds, attempt to be like those who go before. Ray Bradbury, the author of my heart, with which whom's books do burn like a fire in my hands. Or Isaac Asimov, whose pictures what a future most robotic shall be like. There's Robert Heinlein taking us away to other worlds where aliens await. I follow in their footsteps carefully, my footprints paling by comparison. Yet I must write. If I say I shall not, the words are in my heart, and 'twere a fire, a vast infurrow shut up in mine bones. I weary of the holding it inside. Indeed, I cannot. I am doomed to write.
Enter Marty McFly.
George, friend, dost thou recall the last Lorraine who I made introduce of late?
The lady is not soon forgotten, nay.
What is that, right?
Oh, to stories, fables, myths, a science fiction tale of visitors who come to Earth from many brave new worlds.
My father? He, the author? History containeth more surprises than we thought. 'Tis true, thou speakest verily, my friend? I did not know thou wert a writer. George, or I had a shred of creativity. Wouldst thou let me read?
Nay, never. Apologies. It is my wont never to share my tales.
Yeah, wherefore not? Why shouldest thou hide thy gift?
If I should let a reader see my tale, my secret visions and my fantasies pretending it is worthy of their time or that they might enjoy the world I build, such venture would be dangerous indeed. To write or to create is to be brave. Each work, art, an act of courage too. Realizing it to critics is too far. Say that on reading it, they say, aha, aha, you are no writer, nay, you are a fraud. No publisher will ever look on this, declare it finely writ, and print the dribble. Relinquish all thy dreams, you worthless rogue, or you shall surely be a laughing stock. Methinks the harsh rejection would destroy me, eviscerate my opinion's blade.
Whoa. His writing and my music are the same. For the art which we suffer, fear and doubt. Yet George, what of Lorraine? She liketh thee, and told me I should tell thee to ask her to take her thee, the enchantment neath the sea.
Yea, verily?
I would not lie to thee. 'Tis simple. Thither go and ask the lass.
In here, within the cafeteria? What if she answered nay? What then befalls? I could not take such a harsh humiliation.
Enter Biff Tannen with Skinhead 3D and Match crossing to Lorraine.
Besides, another reason fills mine eyes. Belike she'd gladly go with someone else.
Whom dost thou mean?
In Biff, 'tis plain, behold.
Be not so timid, lass. Thou likest me, and wantest Biff to give himself to thee.
Thy mouth be shut. I am not thus inclined.
She slaps him.
Be like thou art, but dost not know it yet.
Thy filthy hands like claws, remove from me.
Marty approaches then and grabs Biff.
And hast thou ears, as thou most plainly dost? Thou must have heard the lass. Take heed, for else, she said, thy filthy hands remove from her. Now as he stands, how large he is, looms over me.
What is it unto thee? Thou art like Pate. Thou hast been begging for some fisticuffs since we've met. Now shalt thou get thy wish.
They nearly fight. Enter Sir Strickland.
I have no need to raise my voice to make my presence heard. 'Tis good to be the king.
I shall, because thou to our school art new, grant thee this once merciful reprieve. Now make thou like a tree, and thither flee.
Exit all save Marty and George.
George, what is with everybody here in trees? But
Why
George,
dost thou follow me?
Pray, listen, George, and hear my truth again. If thou ask not Lorraine unto the dance, I shall regret thy failure all my days.
Nay, all occasions to inform me against, and tell me I may not this dance attend. For if I do, I'll miss my favorite show in the science fiction theater. Dost hear?
Yet George, Lorraine desires to go with thee. Show her some pity, else thou breakest her heart.
Thou dost not heed my words in any wise. I'm not prepared to ask Lorraine to go to the enchantment neath the sea dance, nay, and neither thou nor any on this planet could change my mind. 'Tis fixed, 'tis settled, nay.
Exit George.
This conversation hath not gone my way, and I am getting desperate, for behold, the picture of my siblings grows more and more bleak. My brother's fully disappeared, except the bottom of his legs. Oh, tragic day! Become a pair of calves and heels and feet. Next shall kind Linda disappear as well. Then shall I go, be truly gone. Indeed, some new solution I must undertake. The words George spake rang gently on mine ears. These neither thou nor any on this planet could change my mind. Be like this dreamer George, who writeth science fiction and doth keep his head too often out among the spheres, would answer better to another call. If he wants science fiction theater, I shall deliver thus into his home. Before his face and ringing in his ears, no visitor from earth shall make George brave. Thus space shall come to him, my life to save.
Exit. Scene 5 in the town of Hill Valley. Enter George McFly.
I me, for pity, what a dream was here in the middle of the night, while I did sleep abed a peaceful, not disturbing me. I heard a sudden shrieking in mine ears. 'Twas like a horrible, unearthly sound, more frightful than I thought possible. I woke upon the instant and beheld a creature garbed in yellow, with a mask that captured every terror in my brain, as if it read my worried, anxious mind and did display its worst nightmares. Its visage was like the perfect likeness of the aliens which I had lately seen within Fantastic Story magazine. Who are you? I did ask, with fear and trembling, as if I had offended or upset it. It pointed at its device toward my head, and suddenly the noise did screech. Again, my head filled with the pounding of awful sound, and at last it spoke. Be silent, earthling weak. Darth Vader, I am called, of strength and power and extraterrestrial from Vulcan come. It made a sign then with its claw-like hand, which hypnotized me, and by some sorcery bent my mind that I might do its will. The strange and unrelenting force it used surrounded me and shall be with me always. I'll not live long and prosper if I should. Ignore the message it hath brought to me.
Enter Marty McFly.
Good Marty, I must tell thee, for he hath been mine only friend of late. Ho, Marty!
George, why comest thou in haste? Thou wert not there in school. Where hast thou been? How hast thou spent the first few hours of the day?
I slept too long, and I shall tell thee why. Yet first, I shall confess I need thy help. Lorraine, I must invite unto the dance, yet do not have the wisdom or the words to see it through.
Be patient. I shall help. She is just yonder, there in Lou's Cafe. What is the cause of this most sudden change? For yesterday thou wert of rigid mind, as constant as the northern star. Indeed.
The tale I'll tell thee, though thou mayest not believe it. Last night hath Darth Vader to my house come from planet Vulcan. He hath ordered me to take Lorraine unto the weekend's dance, or he would swiftly melt my guiltless brain.
Thy tale of melting brains will not divulge. Though I do believe it may sound strange to others less supportive than myself.
In sooth, I would not tell another soul.
They approach Lou's Cafe.
There, just inside, she waiteth for thee, George. Be bold, walk in, and make thine invitation.
Yet I have not the words to make it so.
Say anything that cometh to thy mind. Thy world is full of guys. Be thou a man. Whatever is most natural to thee, which springeth forth into thy fertile mind.
'Tis winter in my brain, nothing comes.
By Jove, it is a wonder I was born.
What?
Nothing. Nay, pray, tell her this. Say, fate hath knit thy twofold souls as one, and destiny hath brought thee both together.
George pulls out a pencil and paper.
Speak softly to her tender ear, that she might have beauty more than any other girl at that thou couldn't search the entire world in vain, and ne'er wouldest find her match upon the earth. Such words fall gently on romantic ears. Art thou turned to scribe, that wouldest write this down?
Thou art well versed in the love's confusing syntax, the Cyrano unto my novelette.
The time hath come. Gird up thy loins and speak.
They walk into Lou's Cafe. Enter Lou Carruthers, Goldie Wilson, Lorraine Baines with her friends, and many other youth of Hill Valley.
Lou, give me milk, and make it chocolate.
Glass slides down the bar to George, who drinks deeply.
Dutch courage will give me the strength I need. Dutch chocolate hath never led me astray. Lorraine, my density has brought me here.
Excuse me?
Pardon me, this I meant to say.
Do I not know thee somehow? Tell me true.
Indeed, dear lass, my name is George McFly. I am thy destiny. There ne'er was one so dense for thee as I, filled so completely with love as mine and destined thereupon for dense romance.
Enter Biff Tannen, Skinhead, 3D, and Match aside.
Thy words are like a puzzle for the ear, which kindly spoken stupefy the mind. So sweet thou art, if somewhat mystifying.
McFly!
Fie! Hatred comes to hinder love, as if the Minotaur held Cupid's bow.
Methought I said thou ne'er shouldst hither come, yet thou hast given no heed to warnings there. This time thy grave mistake shall have a cost. Shall it be coin or flesh? We'll see anon. How many ducats dost thou carry? Ducats.
How much dost thou desire, O massive Biff? Whatever thou wishes shall be my command.
Biff approaches George and is tripped by Marty.
He falls. Yet what shall now on me befall?
Biff rises, towering over Marty.
Thou puny, craven, dismal dreaming imp! This is not the opportunity I've sought. Wilt thou take on the Biff? Now feel my power.
Yet, Biff, what is that yawn outside the window?
Biff looks and Marty hits him. Marty flees, knocking over Skinhead, 3D, and Match.
Alack!
Undone by such a one.
We fall.
'Tis Calvin Klein, by Jove, a perfect dream.
The scene moves outside as Biff begins chasing after Marty through Hill Valley.
Too long I cannot relish victory. This 'tis certain an orchestra will strike. 'Tis certain trouble follows me as well. Fly, feet, and bear me hence, away from Biff, before I face the terror of his wrath. From Lou's Cafe I flee to save myself. No more be like to darken these two doors. Across the street I see my greatest hope. A boy doth hold a wooden scooter toy, which by brief amendment may suffice. The youth doth fuss at me, and twere I took his childhood whole, and seeing I take his toy. Fear not, O lad, I'll render it again, that thou once more may ride Hill Valley's roads. First, though, to make the scooter fit for me. Its top removed, it doth become a skateboard, wherewith I shall defeat the coming threat. Thou brokest it, the whiny schoolboy says, yet I speed away, his tone doth change. Look how he flieth on my scooter board. Biff and his thugs pursue me on their feet. They run across the courtyard while I'm bound to use the sidewalk, and I would have wheels. An old familiar trick I'll play on them. Hold fast onto this truck and switch direction. Whilst their momentum carries them too far, too nearly missed, yay, far too close for comfort. 'Twas just in time, a simple, common phrase that I, till recently, employed sans thought. Now do I ride behind this helpful truck, a subtle and unmasked hitchhiker, as Biff and three goons run to their car. A vehicle can no wise outrun. Yet for a moment, Marty, let thyself enjoy the triumph of this fleeting moment. Therefore, see there, the youth who's watched in Lou's Cafe, their mouths agape in my most daring flight. I can almost their exclamations hear. God, I am a wordy teen. What is their lad doth a ride upon this? Methinks it's a wooden board with wheels. Mayhaps Lorraine, besotted by romance, declareth, lo, he is the stuff of dreams. A most disturbing thought, my mother thus. Pray focus, for the rogues do come apace. They shout like banshees, hungry for revenge, keen to protect their bully's reputation, save face when challenged by a naughty slight. Biff piloted the vehicle across the courtyard, rolling over the town's green grass. The dick! This foolishness action is pure recklessness. Mayhaps I've underestimated them and did not sense the drama of the scene. They follow close behind, approaching me. A harmless scuffle twixt two high school lads have turned into a chase most dangerous. Although Biff's friends still cackle, rifle with glee, Biff hath another matter in mind, the heart of which shines forth from his dark eyes, and 'twere the reddish glow of Hell's own heart. Biff, I are transformed into intent to kill, and lads would brush my legs with their fast car. I dodge aside, and now they strike the truck. Another car is in the road ahead, which shall not, I should remain my course. Release the truck, yet still I roll too fast, just like I talk too much. The newfound skateboard jumpeth in the air as I attempt to keep my balance on it. Too fast, I plunge towards the couple. A man and a woman caught in my path. We three collide like Ring Around the Rosie, my favorite game in kindergarten. The ashes fly and we all fall down. It's my favorite part. I realize again, yet Biff is closer still. No hope remains that I may outpace him. The car doth strike me, pushing me along. Biff's friends hurl bottles at me like a target. 'Tis lucky each one a dreadful aim. Biff speaketh, I shall ram the useless imp. In front of me a dump truck comes into view. Mine end is near. One maneuver I may keep from being Marty's tragic end. I jump aboard the car, towards its rear, my trusty skateboard following beneath. Biff and hoodlums look in awe, and they're dumbstruck, not seeing what they shall hit. They shout and then strike the truck filled with manure, which falleth over them, and 'twere a graveyard dirt. The owner of the scooter, which now smoketh, now looks on in awe. Good lad, you have my thanks. Yet now I'll leave ere further trouble comes.
Exit Marty.
Whence cometh this amazing, handsome, really long-winded lad? If thou dost know, I prithee, speak, Lorraine.
Where doth he live, or is he come from heaven? We must in some way learn whence he arrived.
I do not know, yet I shall learn anon. The seed that first was planted in my home, wherein he first took root within my heart, hath budded into something greater, yet a growth unstoppable with mighty trunk, a tree that with affection bursteth forth, each blossom telling of my love for him, with branches reaching new heights every day. I shall discover where this hardy stock doth have foundation, else my fondest hope shall be chopped down with axe unkind and swift.
Exit Lorraine and her friends.
Oh, hear ye now the words I hereby swear. I'll be revenged on him for this affair, like China.
Exit. Oh my God, you guys, it's been too long since we've done one of these. It's been like 2 weeks and it's already like, good Lord, so many good things tonight. And Trent, you're just throwing me off with the pigtails, man. They're glorious though. Definitely glorious. Kimmy, could you breathe in that mask?
No. The second to last scene, I couldn't breathe. I was crying. It was great. It's for the art.
Can't breathe, can't read.
Oh, I know.
Very, very Trump.
How are you even seeing it through the little like eye slits? Like I was like, oh geez.
She's not, clearly.
God, everything was so good. I think everybody needs to give both Troy and Sean a massive round of applause for reading through their gigantic monologues tonight. I mean, geez, Sean, that last one was like 5 pages of
this is
just
the wordiest teen I have ever met in my life.
Good
Props to
Lord.
Doc, too.
I know, so much. And then we still have the second half. So you get to look forward to whatever that may bring the both of you.
I love it.
Right? More Bill and Ted. But seriously, you guys are amazing. I was crying, laughing during several parts because just continued to just blow me away. So you guys are incredible. We have to give another round of applause to Joe for coming back and being our amazing maestro on the piano. I know we got a little like medley of like Star Wars, Star Trek in there with the like scary dream sequence that I'm kind of sad that they didn't have like in the actual play. It just got described later like that. I feel like that would have been kind of cool to get to see, but whatever, it's all good. I'm not the writer here. Apparently Jeff is with his character, not in real life, just his character.
I mean, that monologue about not wanting people to see your work is it's pretty spot on.
Well, we are going to be taking 2 weeks, 1 week off, and then we'll be back in 2 weeks. So we're going to be back on December 2nd because next week is Thanksgiving. So everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. Please stay safe out there. I know that we are getting into holiday time. So make sure that you are keeping you and your loved ones safe. But we will be back in a couple of weeks. No, please. No, we don't need it more than we saw it already, Kimmy. Thank you. But yes, December 2nd at 7 p.m. If you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, you'll get all the updates on exactly when all of that is coming. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for continuing to watch Zounds online productions, which we need to add that in because they said it like 2 or 3 times in this part alone. So that has to be an ongoing drinking rule. But until then, like I've been saying, stay safe and enjoy your Thanksgiving. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you then. Bye.